Welcome aboard the Omni-bus to Miscellanea. I'm Cyber and I'll be your overseer today. This episode is going to be slightly different. As usual, we'll be presenting a short story, but afterwards, we have a small announcement to make. Please remember to hit like or rate us 5 stars on Spotify. If you'd like to be a part of an episode, feel free to contact us at projectcyclone.com and show us what you can do. That's projectcyclone.com. projectcyclone.com. With all that being said, a brief story on the forbidden love of a mortal and death.
I can't forget the moment. It still replays in my head along with all the others. They fight to be the memory that fucks me up that day. This one is the accident. A rainy day, just turning to twilight. Street lamps just being lit, bouncing their light off of raindrops. The street smells like wet horse and smoke from the stacks across the river. I'm walking, looping my way home from a visit to a friend via the park, dripping wet and slightly grumpy that my favourite hat and jacket are likely ruined. I don't see the carriage, don't even hear it until it's too late. The driver, blinded by the dusk and the rain, doesn't see me in time. They swerve, but it's too late. I get slammed and thrown aside, and they crunch into a lamppost. They're okay, mostly. Some whiplash and some bruises from being thrown off, but that's all. And the carriage was fortunately empty. Me? I don't remember anything till I wake up, hovering above my own body while a surgeon in a grubby white coat, wielding barely clean tools, tries to save me. It's clear they're failing, and even now the idea of those unsterilized tools being used on me makes me shudder. It isn't that which is killing me, though. Internal bleeding, broken bones, head trauma. I'm in a bad way, and I can feel myself dying. A surgeon even today would struggle to save me, and the surgeon I came to know as Isaac Bridgewood, along with his nurse and wife, Eliza, does everything he can. Then, I hear a voice. Sweet, soft, mournful. I turn and see a woman. Her eyes are lavender, ancient yet young and full of life. Her face is impossible to describe. It seems to change, moment to moment, without me being able to pinpoint exactly what's different. Only her eyes stay the same, and I look into them as she speaks. I think she is there to claim my life, and I try to prepare. But no, what she wants is so much worse.
My sweet Maria, how nice and yet how sad to meet you face to face. You're supposed to die now, in this moment, but I won't allow it.
I stare at my body as she speaks.
You see, I am death. Yes, that one. Yes, I sometimes wear a robe and carry a scythe, and occasionally I speak in all capitals. Depends on whose life it is I'm taking. But you, sweet Maria, your life I refuse to take.
Now I stare at her, those eyes fixed on mine.
I caught a glimpse of you as your mother died all those years ago. That infection from a cut when you were but a baby. Then, again, as you sat by the deathbed of your father. Each time you looked around for me, tried to bargain not with gods or devils, but with me. I began to watch you. I fell in love with you. I know.
Her eyes sparkle as she laughs.
Death in love with a human.
I stare at her for a few moments.
But there it is.
What do you mean? She leans forward and kisses my cheek.
I mean, I'm not letting you die. Live, Maria. Live. Love. Enjoy all the things this world can and will be able to offer. place my mark on you. My Marie. Live.
I feel a burning somewhere down by my right hip, and then I wake up in my own body again with Isaac's face right above mine. His eyes widen and he leaps back with a cry, the canvas sheet he is preparing to throw me into dropping from his hands. I sit up, feeling my body for wounds and injuries. I'm healed. Isaac, when he can speak again, tells me I've been dead for hours, but now I live. And on my hip is a small raised ridge in the shape of a scythe. I've lived each day since. I'm just over 200 years old, but I look the same 22 as I did the day I died. I can't die. I've tried in my lower moments. In others, someone else has tried. Life can get pretty dramatic when you're one of death's chosen. One of. Yeah, I thought for a while it was just me, that in all of eternity she'd only loved me. Foolish, I know, but they found me after a few years. We meet once a year, share stories, introduce the occasional newbie to the club, commiserate with those of us going through various slumps we get. She's never shown herself to any of us a second time. We don't even know if she remembers us or pays attention. We all have those marks. I can't be hurt, I can't age, I don't even get tired. I have to leave wherever and whoever I know every few years so nobody realizes. I've had to fake my own death when something happens that should have killed me. Being death's crush is the sort of thing people write trauma-filled young adult novels about. If only it was that ridiculous and trope-filled and clumsy sweet. If only.
If Only was written by friend of the show and the queer, agender, disabled co-founder of TeamCuddles and co-host of the audio series Strange Stories from Odd Folks, Lee K Hulme. Lee can be found at r/TeamCuddles, teamcuddles.net, and their Linktree /Lee K Hulme. The narrator was played by Petyr-Kristian. Peter can be found on Instagram at Petyr_Kristian. Death was played by Shay Dudok, host of the YouTube channel Shameless Audios. Go check them out if you want to hear any of their series of audio roleplays. This episode was edited and composed by Cy Nelson, who can be found on Instagram at cyber_cyclone and Reddit at cy_cyclone. The producers for this episode were Cy Nelson and Teddy BBBear, who can be found on Instagram at TDY_BBBear. All links and credits can be found in the description. As for our bus, we'll actually be taking a brief hiatus before the next episode to catch up on our repertoire of stories. After we come back, though, we'll return to our same bi-weekly Monday schedule. For updates, we'll be posting on Instagram at Project Cyclone. Lastly, if you'd like to support us, feel free to join us on Patreon. Your subscription will not only provide us with the resources to continue creating this show, you'll also be able to get perks like voting power on future episodes, joining our exclusive Patreon chat, and for those of you that second guess, there's even a free trial for the first tier. Obviously, we understand that not everyone's able to support us this way, but we appreciate all forms of support, whether it's sharing our work, engaging with our content, or rating us positively on whatever platform you're listening through. With all that being said, you can always find a stop on the corner between somewhere and nowhere. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Stay cozy. We hope to see you soon.